ready to chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks. Welcome to ChuggieBets.
Yeah, I saw all this last minute stuff saying the 49ers are the play, so I put a bunch on 49ers, even though it felt dumb. And then lo and behold, it was dumb.
So I did like 200 on the original line, and then when they were down, what was it, 17 they were down? Right?
Yeah.
Right before they scored the touchdown, right before they came back to score the touchdown. So it's 13-0, I think.
14-0?
Sure.
14, whatever it was.
It was 7-7, and then it got out of hand because McCaffrey had that ridiculous.
It was 13-6. It was 13-6, and then they scored a touchdown to tie at some point. And then it was 20 to, and then it was 20 to 13.
Only scored one touchdown.
No, there's two touchdowns because it was 20-20, and then they got a field goal to win.
Oh, you're talking about
different games.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, the Bengals game.
Yeah, I think it was 17-7 at one point, and then it was 20-20, and then it was over.
Yeah. So when the Bengals were down at their maximum, I had the money line, and I just put the rest of my betting account. And I put more Bitcoin in so I could put more on the money line, and I was feeling so good when Joe Burrow had the ball ready to go down and score. I was like, I just need a field goal. I got 4 minutes, and I got Joe Burrow with the ball. I'm feeling so good, and I had a cash out option. All I had to do was push cash out.
It's like unavailable.
It was like $900 or something, and I was like cash out, and I didn't push it, and then it was nothing. If they would have just called that penalty, it would have gone up to like $1,100.
I saw a guy had bet like $3,000 on the 49ers, and he got a cash out option for like 19 cents. And he took it. It was like they were gonna fucking lose.
Cash out, yeah.
I took 19 cents.
Oh.
There's no reason to take the 19.
Good play.
Yeah,
it was a good play.
It's better to go down with the chips. The captain's got to go down.
He could put that 19 cents on some long shot parlay and have a lotto ticket tomorrow. You know.
He actually can't. He's going to need 81 more cents.
No, some books will take below $1 bets on long parlays.
They're like busking parlays.
Oh. You guys want to play a game?
Yeah.
How many teams has Josh Johnson played for in the NFL?
14.
17. Wait, 14 teams 17 times.
Al and I both said 14. So I'll go.
You knew this already? It is 14.
I think so.
That's just the number that was in my head. They must have said it.
How many times has he been on the San Francisco 49ers? How many separate times has he?
3.
Twice.
4. This is 4 stops in San Francisco.
Shit.
He was there in 2012. He was there in 2014. He was there in 2020 to 2021. Then went to the Jets, Ravens, Broncos, and then back to the 49ers. That boy stays traveling. His frequent flyer mileage has to be off the charts.
That's it. How many teams was he on between 2021 and
1, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14?
I don't know which text message thread I said this on, but one of you guys said the amount of money that what's his face made as a backup versus
Chase Daniel and Josh Johnson.
Chase Daniels versus Josh Johnson. I was like, that's racist. And then he immediately came in and threw a pass that was he just dropped a shotgun. He went like this to catch a shotgun. And I turned to Nate and I was like, I don't think it was racist.
Yeah. I saw somebody, it's funny, it's like they're like listening to me when I'm talking, but I saw like on my phone something came up and it was like Chase Daniel, like it was going through like the 5 quarterbacks in NFL history who've made the most money per pass attempt. And it's like, oh, this guy made $63,000 per attempt and $53,000. And then it's like, and number 1, Chase Daniel at $153,000 per pass attempt. I was like, that dude stays.
It was like 90,000 per pass attempt more than the next guy on the list. It was nuts.
I bet you Andrew Luck would trade for that career. Considering like how Andrew Luck kind of retired early, I think he'd prefer to be Chase Daniel.
I disagree. I think Andrew Luck was like a perfectionist and wanted to be the best, and he would not have wanted to be like the backup. I think one of the reasons Andrew Luck stopped is because he was obsessive about football. and I don't think he would have been able to sit as a backup and like.
Didn't he get like a really bad concussion and he was like, no, he's done. He was like, yeah, peace out.
It was
I'm done.
shoulder injuries, I think. It was like arm injuries that he was having trouble coming back from, not head, but
I think he had a lot of injuries because he was behind a really bad line.
he did have a lot of injuries. It could have been a concussion also. What
do you mean? He played right behind future Indianapolis Colt head coach Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, but that was on Sundays. If they played on Saturdays, he would have been okay.
By the way, if you're keeping score at home, Josh Johnson has had 20 stops in the NFL. 20. He's been
close on 17.
Baltimore twice, the Jets twice, Cincinnati twice, and San Francisco 4 times. There was also a stint with the Sacramento Mountain Lions in 2012 and the San Diego Fleet. The Fleet.
We were only talking about professional teams, Matt. Only ones he got paid to play for.
Let's see. I want to find out about the San Diego Fleet for you.
I'm imagining he got paid there.
Co-ed rec league team.
Oh, it's the AAF, the Alliance of American Football, that football league that existed. The San Diego Fleet were established in 2018 and folded in 2019. So,
some quarterback that just got cut from an NFL team was already on an XFL team. I was reading about a famous one.
And then the Sacramento Mountain Lions were the UFL. Classic.
Have you guys seen that account on Twitter or TikTok that's like people send him obscure sports references from movies and TV shows, and it's like identify the teams playing or the individual game in this like 1 second background clip from an episode of Lost, and then he's like, based on these uniforms in this arena and this is time frame and this guy was number this and they wore these kind of helmets, it's like this is the game and it's the exact like score line in the moment from the show. It's fucking insane.
That sounds like a fun challenge.
Yeah.
See, that sounds like an amazing waste of time. But I think Danny and I have different perspectives.
Yeah.
No, I agree with both of those things.
Yeah.
It sounds like an amazing waste of time, but like,
what are we doing right now, guys?
That's true. Fair enough. Fair enough. An amazing waste of time.
We're gonna spend an hour preparing for episode 42, so our listener, our friend Joey, has a bedtime story.
I don't think Joey listens anymore, guys.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
I think a couple of my buddies listen.
Are we talking about the Super Bowl, or are we talking about not the Super Bowl?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I guess the Super Bowl's 2 weeks, right? So we don't have to touch on the Super Bowl.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what else
Did we get into or did we not get into? We made a good offer, but did they accept?
Not to the best of my knowledge, he has not accepted yet.
Okay.
Let me take a look.
I just want to talk about like Americans getting into Premier League and spilling money everywhere. Just
Enzo Ferrari. Yeah.
You see Jorginho's going to Arsenal, which is really interesting. Super interesting.
We've been talking shit about our midfield, and like they're just gonna go to PSG and like.
And Everton made a bid for Conor Gallagher, $56 million for Conor Gallagher. Everton bid.
That's crazy. He's not good.
He's not bad.
He is good. But we're not. The problem is we're not good.
He's not. Yeah.
But Jorginho's very good, and we're gonna miss him because everybody says that he can't like pass forward, and he always like leads the Premier League and what is it called? Progressive passes.
Yeah, like the diagonal passes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fans are dumb.
Liberal passes.
He leads the Premier League in Democrat passes.
I don't understand how Chelsea is doing it, right? Because I know that soccer has very strict rules about only being able to pay so much, and I guess he found a workaround by offering longer contracts.
There's two things. I think the loan forgiveness counts as income in the current year, so he has that the Abramovich loan forgiveness income. And then the second thing is that they're going to change a rule that you can only sign guys for like to 3-year contracts or 5-year contracts or something. So he's signing all these guys until they change that rule to like 8-year contracts. So we get like the value down the road. Like that's one of the things that he did with the Dodgers. They like sign these 10-year contracts that they think will be value down the road. They won't be, but
the difference is you can't trade. People don't trade in soccer, right? He's always trading away top players because his farm system's been awesome with the Dodgers.
Yeah,
like they can trade away. any MVP, and they're like, it's fine. We'll sign another player if we need to. If not, our farm system's always good.
But if he can trade or if he can sell Ziyech for cash, because PSG wants Ziyech right now, if he could sell Gallagher for 50 plus million, which that's higher. I was thinking 30, so that's pretty good deal for him.
Everton's trying to stay in the game. I get that.
They need a central mid to say.
Do you think it's just as simple as overreacting to the very slim threat of relegation, where he's like, I don't want, let's just like throw a shit ton of money at it and fix it and move up the table.
Honestly, I think it's just him thinking that like we have this small window to sign long-term contracts for young players. So I'm going to try and get these guys while they're young and sign them.
How young are these guys though? Like, are they?
Mudrik's like 21, 22. The new Fofana's 20. We got a Brazilian dude who's 18. He's signing like they're not all just these $100 million dudes. He's getting these like 18 to 20-year-olds that are
all the guy whose names I don't recognize are the young ones.
Yeah. But Enzo was a $100 million guy, and he's not 18. I think he's like 23 or 24. So
it's an interesting.
I saw something that said he was coming to Chelsea, or Chelsea's was.
We made a $120 million bid for him. $120 million bid.
It's bananas.
Do you know how much Man City paid for Haaland?
Not that.
It's $60 million. We paid 60? More than that. We paid more than that for both Fofana and Koulibaly and Cucurella. Yeah. We paid more than that for everybody. Can you believe Cancelo's leave? Are we recording, by the way? Because this is actually pretty good.
We can say that because that's super interesting, and there's a lot to unpack from that. Like,
dude, why is Cancelo leaving City? Like he's their best right back. Like who are they bringing in? What?
He's like the best in the world at that job. He hasn't been playing lately. I don't know if Pep's mad or he knows something, but
the only reason he's considered, he's not best in the world. He's probably like fourth, but third because Reece James is never healthy. But he's up there with best in the world. Who's the best in the world? It's the guy that showed his how awesome he was during the World Cup. He's amazing.
Hakeem? No.
Hakimi.
No. The other guy from Morocco. Shit, what's his name?
Anyway, he was awesome.
I'm seeing a bunch of random people saying it's done, but like I think they're all just.
Until Fabrizio Romano says it, I don't believe it. When you hear that, he's like Adam Schefter or Woj. You know it's true when he says it, and he's the first one to get it.
I agree with that. Until Fabrizio Romano says it, it's not necessarily true.
Didn't he die on Titanic?
Yeah. He's been tweeting from the back.
I tell the worst.
Billy Zane took his boat, so he had to stay on the boat.
I make jokes for an audience of one, and that audience is my fucking self, and I'm so fucking funny.
Did you see that Chelsea in this January window has spent more than La Liga, League One, and the Bundesliga combined? Like all of those teams, Chelsea just like blew them out of the water. I'm like, it's shocking. It better work.
That's what I'm saying. I think this dude was just like, how much is it going to cost to like move up the table?
So Mudryk seems like it's going to be a really good signing. He's really fast.
30 minutes against Liverpool were awesome. No,
he's really fast and he's pure quality. He can dribble. He seems to be the best wing that we're going to have for a long time, and we've like signed a lot of wings that were supposed to be that over a long-term period. And I'm ready for Pulisic to just like go play for a team that I get to watch him and root for him for where he gets to play. Like just get in Italian or Bundesliga again so we can see score some goals.
How long until Leeds reaches out for Christian Pulisic just to join up with?
Dude, they just got McKinney. They just got McKinney.
What Tyler Adams? Where did he just go? Fulham? Who's going to Fulham?
Tyler Adams is at Leeds.
Or he's at Leeds. Who's the one going to Fulham right now? Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson may be going to Man City from Fulham.
Oh yeah. Thank you. That's the one.
Man fucking City. Which is a huge feather in the cap of Americans, man. That is it's a giant job. Like Pulisic is a big deal going to Chelsea. This is equally a big deal.
So if you think about it, though, Man City's defense hasn't been. I mean, their midfield and forwards have been awesome, but their defense hasn't been up to par. And they're trying to lift buy it with fucking Anthony Robinson. They're trying to get in the Bears.
Didn't they just didn't someone just take Joe Cancelo because he's not good this year?
I don't know.
Is this like Joe Cancelo? Joe Cancelo is going to Bayern.
Yeah. So he left Man City
on loan.
Yeah.
He may not be as good. He's really good. That's like saying Trent Alexander-Arnold's not that great this year. He may not be having a great year. He's still good.
Correct. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, not
there's levels to this shit. Like it's not just like he's bad.
We're not just going to be like, oh, we should replace him with Serginho Dest then because he's way better.
But it looks like Pulisic may go to AC Milan, which would be awesome. It's a great place to go.
And it's on Paramount Plus.
And it is on Paramount Plus.
I thought Serie A was on ESPN Plus. Anyway.
No, that's La Liga. I don't know.
La Liga is and Bundesliga is Serie A is on same as Champions. Okay. Anyway, I end up honestly anytime any one of these games on, I have to like go through all the apps to figure out which one of those is.
Same.
I just want one soccer button on my phone that just like soccer.
Scottish Premier League.
Why don't they have the soccer button? Like, if you have all the apps, just send me to the soccer game.
Honestly, networks should have to buy every league of a sport.
Can Apple just do it for me? Can they just buy it? Like, they have enough cash. Just buy up all the networks and everything and just like, I'll pay more.
iPhones let us name a fucking text thread if there's a greenie on it. So, like, no, Apple can't do dick.
They do that on purpose. That's to bully everyone. They do that just so we'll bully Andy to
give us a worse product.
They're bullying Danny to bully me.
No, it fucking doesn't.
My phone works. I can name our group chat. You guys want to see it? I'll show you.
Yeah, show me. What do you call it?
This in the podcast, what we're doing? This is good content.
Yeah, no, we're recording.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Should we do the intro now?
The one with the four of us and Chris is called ChuggieBets, and the one with everybody is called Fantasy Football.
Good name.
I don't know why I'm in the one called Fantasy Football. It should be Fantasy Football and Danny.
I will change it as soon as we're done here.
Asterisk.
I'm so excited for Champions League, and we get to talk about it right after the Super Bowl. I am in.
What is our rundown of topics? I didn't even click on the. Can you put it in the chat so I can?
I got it right here.
Stetson
Bennett.
I got it.
While you're looking at that, let's review our records for last week. I kind of don't want to, because I am below 500 for the first time in anything that we've done since ChuggieBets started. My NFL playoff record is below 500. I went 0-1.
Well, it's only because you chose to distinguish between regular season and playoffs.
That's true. I didn't want to tarnish my regular season record. I wanted to lock it in. So I went 0-1. Chris and Danny both went 1-1. Matt went 1-0. You won a playoff game. Congratulations.
I needed it. Buddy.
Congratulations. You're the Dallas Cowboys. Finally won a playoff game.
I got one.
But Al is just absolutely dominating the playoffs. After going 6-1 last week, he went 3-0 this week. Won his Chuggy bet. He is 11-3 in the postseason. So congratulations, Al.
61% regular season too. That's pretty freaking good.
So Al, you've got 2 beers to give out at some point here.
I think Matt has his Chuggy bet also, since he only bet one game. That had to be his Chuggy bet.
That's the only thing I had.
Wow, that's true.
I did the reverse Wong teaser. The not Wong
teaser.
The dong teaser.
The dong teaser.
So I was actually thinking about a non-Wong teaser for the Super Bowl. Right now, Kansas.
Were you going to tease the total? Tell me you were going to tease the total.
I mean, Kansas City.
What else are you going to tease?
Kansas City's sitting at +2, and that's just like such a perfect teaser number. But like, yeah, what the hell else are you going to tease with? The total's the only option. So like, I haven't done it.
And you just take the alt line. Just take the alt line.
Yeah.
Give the juice.
Which way would you tease the total?
Honestly, I don't even care either way.
Matt, you tease it down and take the over?
Yeah, I could do both.
Is that what you said, Matt?
Yeah, take it both ways. I would probably tease. What's the total? 50?
50.
I would guess.
Yeah.
So 44. 24-20 seems like a certainty. I mean, unless Philly's defense is going to be this elite and Shit. Patrick Mahomes has no leg.
Mahomes' ankle seems fine.
And he's got 2 weeks. They'll
Does
send him to
it,
Germany for some blood
Doesn't
transfusions.
the
or
Super Bowl
something if they
typically
have
go
to.
under because there's so many breaks and there's like no time to kind of
I think it typically
momentum and
goes.
whatnot?
I think it typically goes under because everybody bets over, so they can raise the number. And
But it teased
So-
over. Sounds nice.
So,
44.
yeah, you tease it up
sounds
to
lovely.
56 and take
Yeah.
the under.
So just for the record, let's go on the record as saying teasing totals is dumb.
It's a
But
dumb
I-
move.
yeah.
was
But I
so
might do it. I might do it this week.
I'm gonna
I
be
looked
all
at it a
over
long
like so
time.
many prop bets in this Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think next week we should talk about prop bets and stuff like that.
Before we do anything else, should we chug a beer?
Yeah, if we're
Some
starting,
Yeah.
fancy stuff?
should you do the intros?
Time to make some bad gambling picks. Cheers.
I'm glad we got people into the meeting, the pre-show meeting here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what's the next topic up? Mr. Stetson Bennett, is that?
That is a good
I
one.
heard so many jokes about this, and I didn't know what happened. So can somebody fill me in?
Yeah, so Stetson Bennett, I don't know the exact protocol or what happened here, but I know he got in trouble for public intoxication.
I
Look,
just saw the video clip.
oh, well, I'll let you go into it a little bit further.
Please share.
But
Yeah, I'll find it.
public intoxication is not uncommon for college kids, right? I may have been arrested for public intoxication myself, but
Can you
I
be a
wasn't.
college kid at 27 or however
I
old he is?
wasn't 25 years old when I was in college. I feel like at some point, is it okay if you're in college still and to get a public intoxication, even if you're 25?
I'm really not going to judge anybody who gets a public
No, nor am
intoxication.
I.
Yeah.
What kind of
Well
dick
said,
cop-
Danny.
what kind of dick
Only
cop-
by the grace of God do I not have many.
I was on a golf course today, so like I was in public. I was intoxicated.
I got that quote wrong. There, but by the grace of God go I.
There you go. I can't find it, but
We all
basically,
cared a lot, Andy. We were all good. We were going to correct you as much as Al was going to correct my Gambit versus Gambit.
Oh, he corrected the hell out of you.
damn it.
He didn't realize I was making an X-Man joke.
Yeah, crawfish at toupee. So in the video, Stetson Bennett is like kind of walking along this like concrete like railing or like raised bed, and there's like a few cops on like the street corner or like the side of the street, and they're you can't really tell what's happening, but then he starts to like speed up like he's taking off running, and this cop just fucking drills him into the side of this concrete thing, where I'm almost like, this cop had zero fear that he was going to smash his own face into the concrete. But Stetson Bennett also almost, he either just missed or like definitely clips his ribs on like the corner of the concrete. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of smart.
Was it a target on the play or no? Perfect form tackle.
Did he?
Kept his
Was he wearing his flak? Was he wearing his flak jacket?
Actually had one of the neck braces, the board
The big
backboard
rolls.
on his
Brian
shoulder.
Cox. He had the Brian
Yeah,
Cox.
Brian
on.
Cox move, absolutely.
Oh, I always go with the guy from Friday Night Lights.
You're
That
gonna
is
need a
good.
name if that's the move.
I can't remember
We should
his
do
name.
an all-time neck roll list because that is.
What's the guy that got drafted by the Packers? Brian something with the what the fuck was his name? He was one of the best draft picks ever.
John Favreau and the Replacements.
Yeah, I was gonna say the guy in the program. That's a good one.
You're just doing
Al-
fictional neck rolls.
As you were
Not doing
describing
neck
that
rolls?
video, I feel like I remember a very similar video of Baker Mayfield. Wasn't there a?
Oh, then maybe it was. Maybe
Wasn't
I'm
there?
just wrong. Maybe
No,
someone.
I'm not saying that that's what you described, but I'm pretty sure there's a video very similar to that of Baker Mayfield.
Well, you tell me if this is Baker Mayfield or if this tweet is actually true. That's bad footage. I'll send in the link.
No, that was good enough. I got
Okay.
it. It was a good tackle. What was he doing before that? Just acting a
I
fool,
don't
just
know.
being drunk and walking around?
Oh, it does say this is the arrest video of Baker Mayfield from 2017. It's like a fact. What's it called? Like I got duped. I got duped.
You described it very well because I knew
Elon
exactly what
Musk.
you were talking about as soon as you said it. Wasn't Stetson Bennett arrested in Texas? Doesn't he go to school in Georgia? Like, how drunk do you have to be to go to school in Georgia and wake up after a bender in Texas?
No, I think he was training for the NFL, but I really hope he wasn't. I think he was probably in Dallas, like getting draft ready or whatever in order for the opportunity. But now I hope he just went on like a bending road trip, not driving, of course, because that's reckless. But somehow he was drunk enough to go from Athens, Georgia to Fort Worth. That would be my dream.
You really got to think about whether or not he's football material, NFL material. So
it's Tony Mandarich is who I was thinking
that
of.
is
yeah.
That's a
It
good
just
one.
looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Brian
I mean, that's
Bosas-
not the best picture of it, but that's the Sports Illustrated cover I was thinking of with the neck roll behind him.
Here, I can show it to our listener.
Yeah, you should follow us on YouTube. You're getting great content right now. You're gonna watch. Tony
Watching videos on our podcast.
He looks pathetic, doesn't he?
Actually, he looks
That's
sad.
a pretty solid number. 77 is a good number.
It's supposed to look sad. It's calling him a bus. It's a bus. I mean, that's what the. You want to see a picture of him where he doesn't look sad?
Yeah.
I'm sending it right now. You're gonna love it.
Are you using podcast sponsor Bing.com?
He absolutely is.
He looks like a professional wrestler in this one. It's perfect.
He does.
I can't believe I got duped.
Give the people what they want.
Looks like he has his own back row. That trap game.
He looks like Joey Bosa.
Looks like Dan Ugla's traps.
And forearms.
Speaking of Joey Bosa, did anyone watch that full clip? Because I only saw a snippet of it, but it makes me so happy seeing people razz and shit all over Bosa.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it when the Bosas get beat. Like when Trump lost, I was like so happy to just dunk on the Bosas.
What is the deal? What is the deal with the Bosa brothers?
No, I didn't really care about the country. I just fuck you, Bosas.
Like Nick Bosa is like objectively very handsome. Joey Bosa looks like his mom fucked a shark.
What?
He looks like Roger from Doug.
Yeah, if he was doing the backstroke, people would get out of the water.
Same parents.
That's true.
That guy tried to
she had an affair with the milkman. The milkman was the fucking the ghost from Beetlejuice.
Let's big search the Bosa parents really quick. I think they come from strip club money, right? I don't think I'm saying that out of turn. I know they have is it Mr. Bosa, like a strip club magnate down here in South Florida?
I think that he's a former
I know he's a former player, but
yeah, I think why are you sending the smallest fucking photos? How do I make this?
The least efficient way to search the internet.
Hey, you watch your mouth.
Okay,
it's very
Nick
clear.
Bosa was not as handsome as I thought, or at least not in this picture. But Joey's definitely got like a schnoz on him that goes on for days.
Well, the interesting thing is Nick Bosa wouldn't even cared if people were making fun of him. Have you seen how chill that guy is in all those videos? He's like, I just want to sack the quarterback, man. Why is it so hard? He's like, I agree. Just like doesn't care. Clearly, Joey cared, and he lost because you can't fuck with Philadelphia.
So Nick Bosa is to John Harbaugh as Joey Bosa is to Jim Harbaugh.
The schnoz. Just look at the schnoz.
Perfect description.
Yeah. And I love that he played like the "I have more money than you" card, like just chef's kiss of like.
Fucking tool.
Do you remember the one time LeBron said to people that like, I'll go back to my life and you go back to yours, when they were shitting on him at the arena, and everybody like was like, LeBron, come on, man, just don't do that to us. Like we know.
Did you guys see this?
You could do anything.
Did you guys see? They actually got a picture of Nick and Joey on the sidelines toward the end of the game. Joey or Andy, can you share that one?
I absolutely can. Yeah, I didn't realize that they got that on the sidelines.
Yeah, but it kind of looks like a heated debate happening here.
I see Nick there on the right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Joey on the right.
Joe.
Anyway, Joey Bosa is a huge fucking tool, and I'm so glad the Philly fans like busted his balls, and then also they whooped the ass. It just makes me feel good.
It does.
Yeah. Matt, I think the next one is something you wanted to talk about.
Speaking of Philadelphia, right? Philadelphia takes a lot of pride in their sports, and so does New York. I've always heard New York's a good sports town, right? Have you guys ever heard that? New York,
Never.
we're the Mecca. We're great at sports. Then why the fuck is the Empire State Building lit green and white to celebrate an Eagles win? Just in case the listeners at home don't know this, that is a Giants town. Giants and Eagles are rivals. There's never a time they would light up the Empire State Building red and white because the Red Sox won. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing, and I don't like anything about this. Do you guys have any thoughts?
Jets thing? Was it a Jets thing?
I was going to ask that too, right? Maybe the guy who did it is a Jets fan, kind of trying to rub it in on the Giants.
Is it to get Aaron Rodgers there? Like, are they trying to appeal to Aaron Rodgers? What would be the point of lighting it up for the Jets?
Well, they just signed a coach, right? They had just signed a coach. Didn't they?
Maybe they put division rivalries aside.
Did they do it to welcome?
Did they do it to welcome
the offensive juggernaut that was the Broncos head coach as their offensive coordinator? Is that what they did?
Maybe they're celebrating that he's still alive. He hasn't ended his life.
Good thing he doesn't listen to our podcast, or else.
He'd be dialing that number. I just think it's really lame. Like, why not celebrate Kansas City? That would make more sense. Like, Kansas City is equally important.
It's probably really hard to change the colors. It's probably really hard to change the colors. And
why was that any of the TN? There was never a situation where that
LEDs, man. It's just an app.
I've got a theory. Okay. So we know New York City is very, diverse. A lot of transient people moving in and out. A lot of people from outside of New York coming there. Perhaps some people who commute to New York City from Philadelphia, and maybe they got inside and they're like, coming up, it's going to be National Jerk Off Your Cousin Day, and the colors for that day are green and white. We should do the building up in green and white for that national holiday. And it just happened to coincide with the Eagles W, and they're like, "Mwahaha."
What meal do you make for jerk off?
They probably just tricked some Irish. They probably just tricked some Irish dude into thinking it was an Irish holiday, and they should do green and white. It's probably as simple as that.
Is it bratwurst? Are you eat bratwurst that day? I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
You eat. I got stuck in the dryer that day. You eat. I got stuck in the dryer.
Stepbrother. I got stuck in the 7th floor.
That should be
It's lame. Holiday. I don't care. Like that, we can move on. It's not really that interesting, but it's friggin' lame. And I don't want to hear.
Next week it's not going to happen, and it's going to be because the boss is like, fuck this. National Jerk Off Your Stepbrother Day is in February, and it's still January. Actually, I fucked that up because literally it will be February. I should have said like October.
Matt, I agree with you. Like if some building in Miami lit up, with Jets colors or Patriots colors or something, I wouldn't be happy about it.
You'd burn it down.
They burned the Freedom Tower for the Boston Celtics winning a NBA championship. I'll lose my freaking mind.
Well, they don't do the Freedom Tower, but there's a building that they light up with the Heat colors down there. It used to be the Bank of America building. It doesn't have that branding anymore, but they light that building up all the time. It's the older, tallest building in Miami. It's obviously been rebuilt by a bunch of condos now, but it's the tallest office building in Miami still, I think. You've seen it in Bad Boys.
Celebrating the local team winning is awesome. Celebrating your rival winning is ridiculous. It is
ridiculous.
That's like the University of Miami lighting the stadium garnet and gold. That would make no sense. It's pathetic. It's nothing you should do.
We do. Half the stadium's garnet and gold every time we play.
That's true. Fair enough. I forgot about that. You do that. But speaking of that game, do you guys want to go in? Oh, we should probably memorialize San Francisco, huh? Remember
Yeah.
that?
Who wants to do it? I'll sit this one out. Somebody else.
Sure.
Go for it. Al.
I've been there once. San Francisco. You have tons of access to edible marijuana, edible THC. That's a nice thing to have. More cities should have that. The Bosas suck, and you got one of those. You got the better one, so I guess that's not as bad. But also, you got too many shitty
Seals?
quarterbacks.
They got rice.
They have rice.
Yeah, the Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco tree, right?
True.
And Jerry.
Wait, these are just all compliments.
Yeah.
They got to put so many quarterbacks. It's
The seal, there's too many seals.
There's lots of cool things to do in San Francisco. It could be more walkable. So fuck you, be more walkable, San Francisco. And
it could be more affordable.
It could be more affordable.
Yes, that's for sure.
Gotcha.
Can Kyle Shanahan win a big game?
No.
Like legitimately, like everyone.
Didn't they win a Super Bowl?
Kyle Shanahan did?
No.
I know he lost the Super Bowl in hilarious fashion with Matt Ryan.
Oh yeah.
You went to bed at halftime of that one.
Everyone went.
I
You're
drink,
only
guys.
finding out now that they did not, in fact, win that Super Bowl.
What?
I was
You're
wondering
telling
why I
me.
lost those bets.
I saw a really dumb joke about there were two injured quarterbacks on the field. It was Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy, and it made me laugh really bad. Brock Purdy, it made me laugh for a long time. That game was done, right? Like from like the first 5 minutes in, I barely watched the game after that.
Yeah, it was not a good. Like neither game was really fun to watch, in my opinion.
Cincinnati
Maybe it's because of
Yeah,
the bets I
disagree. I
had,
think
and I was
the
like,
Cincinnati
I
game was
don't. It doesn't. Yeah, but it got interesting toward the end. That one did, but I also felt like it wasn't that as good as I was like billing it up to be in my head.
Did you think it was fair that Kansas City got to have 5 downs?
Are we moving to that game?
Yeah, I missed that. I didn't see what happened. Oh, because the penalty thing?
So one of the refs came out and whistled a play dead, but then they did the play without anybody stopping. He didn't actually blow his whistle. He just went out and went, stop. But he didn't blow his whistle. And then they ran the whole play, and they didn't get a first down on 3rd down. And then he went and they all got huddled up and talked, and he's like, all right, guys, we're going to redo. You guys get another shot on 3rd down because I went like this, and nobody stopped.
Yeah, they like misspotted the ball, and then they said run the clock, but the clock should have been stopped. So then they ran extra time off, and they had to redo it again.
No, second down was an incomplete pass. The clock didn't stop, so they were getting the clock right because I think they thought it was caught. But the referee, whose job it was like 55 yards behind the play, and no one could see him clearly. Yeah. Whoever was stopping it. So they ran a play. If I was Zach Taylor, I would have lost my fucking mind. And he was losing his mind on the sideline. But it ended up not really being that.
They made up for it. They literally gave him a Super Bowl berth by somebody put their hand on Mahomes when he was out of bounds, and they gave him 15 yards so they could kick a field goal.
Bro, both feet were
so
I gotta say,
he just put it on him like this, and then he just dove into the bleachers. He just put a hand on him, and then Patrick Mahomes dove into the bleachers. He was a bigger flop than what Burrow did on the play earlier, and they didn't call that one.
Bengals fans are big time blame the ref bitches. I don't like it. They're like, oh, look at this blatant hold. And I'm like, I see that 100 times, and it doesn't get called.
Yes, but it was a blatant hold. And
oh, look at this. It's like, no, you're being sore losers. Take your beating and shut up.
Stop showing us that you clearly bet on Kansas City. All right, I clearly did not bet on Kansas City, and that was a hold. That was a late hit on Burrow, and that was not a late hit on Mahomes. All right, those were all bullshit calls.
It wasn't.
And you got it all wrong. You got it all wrong. Al is defending his buddies, the refs. That's what's happening. Right? He doesn't like when Cincinnati fans are shitting on his friends, his favorites. Al watches the games wearing striped shirts.
I wear my NFL hat.
You got your Rob Lowe hat and your striped shirt.
Yeah. Go refs, go.
I mean,
that was a good call. That was a good call.
I think it's safe to say Ron Torbert's crew is not going to be working the Super Bowl, but they were bitching about calls that
the only referee crew that had a worse game than that was the Lakers-Celtics game. Oh my God. At least I had the over in that game, and so did the refs.
What happened in that one?
Oh man, it was just nothing but like foul after foul after foul call to get us to the over, and then like when they finally were there, LeBron like had an easy layup to get us to win the game, and Paul Jason Tatum fucking hacks LeBron, and it's like the most obvious foul you've ever seen. They're like, nope, we're going to overtime, guys, because we need the over.
I agree.
LeBron did his dance around like I'm a little toddler. He threw a fit like he was fucking my 2-year-old daughter here.
The only reason a man should react the way LeBron did, and LeBron was right for being upset, is if like a family member died. Look at it. Look at his hand.
What am I looking at there? Clean.
That's LeBron's
clean block.
Al once again defending his boys, the referees.
But that was a giant temper tantrum. That was unacceptable. But Pat Bev was the MVP of the night.
You know what? They would have given LeBron a technical for that if they didn't know what they did. Like the referees weren't going to give LeBron the tech because they knew what they did.
Has LeBron ever gotten a technical foul? Like they are just like, oh, you're LeBron, do what you want.
So that was so bad that they gave a technical foul when they came back out for fucking nothing to what was his face?
Patrick Beverly, the MVP.
Pat Beverly, because that was really LeBron's technical from before, but they gave it to Pat Bev so that they could like make up for that shit that LeBron did before.
That was the funniest technical I've ever seen. I didn't know what happened. I came back from overtime and Boston was in the lead, which is a very unusual thing to see when you're in overtime. No minutes.
On the box scores, they fucked it up and they actually put those free throws or the free throw that he made in the regular time. So it looked like we had an overtime game that Boston won.
It was very good.
We're in overtime. I'm like, why do we have an equal score in overtime that Boston's leading by 1? How did this happen? And then I did the math. I was like, oh, they actually put the tech, and then they fixed it later. So if like you had your fourth quarter score, if you had an over and it was like by 1 point, you would have. Anyway,
NBA scorekeepers don't get everything perfectly accurate. Is that what you're?
Oh, that's a hot topic. Saying? Matt, did you want to finish up the Lakers thing?
Oh, no.
I want to just read the tweet that the the NBA referee account, which I didn't know there was an NBA referee account.
It's Al's favorite account.
Yes, it's at official NBA refs. So I believe this is actually the NBA referees. They said, like everyone else, referees make mistakes. We made one at the end of last night's game, and that is gut-wrenching for us. This play will weigh heavily and cause sleepless nights as we strive to be the best referees we can be. First of all, that has to be
they beat someone to death?
No. Secondly, I know refereeing is a very serious job, and I'm sure they were doing this to like offset me and Danny talking about the over that he hit because this went to overtime, which was awesome for him. But that seems like a lot. That seems like a little more dramatic than it needed to be, right?
Yeah, that's like the apology you get after like the Tim Donaghy like scandal, right?
That's the apology you make after you get caught sleeping around.
That sounds like the apology like police officers make. Like
or don't make
after 5 of them being a guy.
Are refs just sports cops? Damn it, I'm on the wrong side.
You're a sports.
Oh god,
I was gonna say all refs are bastards, but then that acronym doesn't work.
All refs are bad. A-Rab. Wait, no. Oh god.
That's all.
Wait, so what did Pat Bev do? He got teed up.
So he just said some shit.
No, he took a camera from the cameraman who got the perfect picture, that picture that everyone's seeing like this. He brought the camera to the referee and tried to shove it in his face. And he said, take a look at this. The referee, not pleased with this reaction, even though he was clearly right, just teed him up. Honestly, it's the greatest thing of all time. It was the dopest.
We need more props in sports.
I'm going to try that next time I'm arguing with my wife. And like, I'm just clearly wrong. And she like proves it. I'm just going to be like,
He's gonna buy like a $3,000 camera just to bring out, not even pictures on it. There's no SIM card, no nothing.
Andy, I thought you said when you were right, you were gonna bring out photo evidence is what you wanted to do to your wife, and I was gonna say she's just gonna tee you up. I feel like that's how my arguments go. Even if I'm fucking right and I have photo evidence, she's just like technical foul. You go to the bathroom.
That's a technical foul.
What she doesn't know is the couch is where the sports and the video games are. So
yeah, I know.
Okay. She doesn't listen to this.
Anything else you guys want to talk about the NFL games? Devonta Smith didn't catch that ball, right?
He
You can
did
all
not.
agree with that.
No, Eagles
You
did
talking
not
about
need the help. but-
the deep pass, the first deep pass of the game?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was not a catch. It wasn't even close to a catch. It fucking bounced all over the place. I had the
Al
first quarter
texted-
under. I still hit the first quarter under, but I was
catch, and I
yeah,
was
right
like,
away.
What are you talking about? And then they came back and showed the other angle, and you were right.
Yeah, so I
Al
had the
was
first
ahead of
quarter
the game on that one.
under 7.5
You know,
to
many
start
people
that
are
game.
saying I'm right over 60% of the time.
I was super mad that they gave him that catch and they ended up scoring a touchdown. Luckily, nobody scored the rest of that quarter, so I ended up hitting that under anyway. But I was so mad that they gave him that catch. I was like jumping up and down, like I pulled a LeBron. I was jumping up and down like I was LeBron, and they just fouled me and didn't call it.
But this is what makes Kyle Shanahan a bad coach. It's a big play. It's 4th down. You see everyone running to the line of scrimmage. Take the hanky out and throw it on the field, man. Like, what's the worst that happens? Like, everyone.
You lose a timeout.
If a receiver makes an outstanding catch and their very first and instant reaction is huddle, 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 let's go, let's get another snap in, you're like, Normally they go, oh, I'm the fucking man, look at my dick. And you're like, that makes sense. That's what you do when you catch a ball. When you don't, you say, snap it. So
no dick looks if you drop it.
No dicks.
So we also need to memorialize Cincinnati. So, Matt, I know you've got some Ohio ties. I know it's not to Cincinnati, but you want to take memorializing Cincinnati? Or
if your compliment isn't Joe Burrow's eyes, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, no, I love Joe Burrow. And I think Joe Burrow can be really great. He's awesome. I really enjoy watching him. I like their offense. I think it's really fun. That chili is a catastrophe. If you tell me about Skyline chili, and look, I've eaten it, and I like the novelty of eating it one time. It's good when you're hungover because it just pushes all the toxins out of both sides of you. You'll throw it up or you'll shit it out, and it's perfect for that. But as a palatable item, it's trash.
I would like to describe. I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm going to anyway.
No, we should get into this.
The Skyline chili, I would like to describe the way that affects your body is it's the same as the stomach virus that is running through South Florida right now.
Yeah.
It basically does to my children, and it does to me what my children have done to me through daycare. It's disgusting, and it hurts bathrooms and toilets.
It tastes bad. Like if it was just regular chili, like you make, and like everyone eats chili and they like it, I could get on board with putting that shit on pasta and covering it in a mountain of chili or
pasta.
cheese and onion.
Why would you put it on pasta? That's gross.
Like all that, that's fine. Like I could get on board, but the fact the actual chili itself tastes bad, why would you want that? It's not. I ain't it. It ain't it. No, thank you.
Matt and I went to Skyline Chili once together, and the bathroom was out of order. And the whole time we were just like, we should not be eating this.
That's an omen. That's an omen right there.
A bad sign. There's nowhere to go.
I enjoyed the experience of doing it because it's like it's an interesting thing to do, but you need a bathroom. You need a working bathroom. Yeah. Also, why don't you have an offensive line? Is it impossible to protect Joe Burrow? Like you guys have like 3 offensive linemen and then 9 people that are just like us out there trying to block Chris Jones. It's ridiculous. Keep Joe Burrow clean. And Joe Burrow had a bad game. And you guys have a pretty good grocery store. Kroger's not bad. And I know it's kind of based out of Cincinnati. So kudos on that. You could have a worse grocery store.
2 points.
Kroger's, in my opinion, always smell like pee.
Say again?
Kroger's always smell like pee to me.
I'm not saying it.
2 points, I'd like.
In the pantheon of grocery stores, like the chain ones, Wegmans really good, Publix and Kroger are kind of that next level. And I know everyone likes H-E-B in Texas, right? Everyone loves H-E-B.
Here everything's better.
Here everything's better.
But 2 points I'd like to make. One, Al, it was a pleasure to make chili with you every morning in college for like 2 years. That was awesome.
Did you guys shoot immediately after, or was it better than school?
No, we worked at a restaurant and we didn't get to eat it.
We cooked, I think, 5 pounds of bacon every morning while we made chili also, and then we ate a pound of it.
Yeah, did you cook?
We totally weren't sneaking beers either while we were doing that. Thanks, Everett. The second thing I wanted to say is, so Joe Burrow has this terrible offensive line and he's leading the league in sacks every year, yet he keeps getting to AFC championship games and Super Bowls. Ryan Tannehill, Tua Tagovailoa, what the fuck, man? You guys used to lead the league in sacks. Why can't you be Joe Burrow?
Fair enough.
You know, why don't they build the whole team on a Joe Burrow?
Was that a black box joke?
Yes, it was. That's good. I make
I-
good jokes.
I liked it.
Al and I crapped on Cincinnati earlier this year, and I kind of still stand by it. Their offense is fun. But
You didn't stand by it last week. You literally said that, and you're like, we shouldn't have crapped on them. Last week you said this. Now you're back to crapping on them. Go on.
No, it's not going to go anywhere. Cincinnati.
Go on. No.
I don't want to say anything bad about Joe Burrow. I love him.
You shouldn't.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
really
say it for you,
handsome.
Matt. I'll say it for you, Matt. That team
He's
has
not
no
that
business
handsome.
being as good as it is. Joe Burrow is fucking dragging that team up to the rankings, man. It is Joe Burrow alone that's making that team better than 500.
Yeah, it's totally not like they're three awesome receivers either. They're not.
They
have
have
nothing to do
one
with it.
good receiver, and T. Higgins is like super overrated.
I don't know about all that, but
T. Higgins is overrated.
I disagree. I disagree. I mean, I don't know what level he's at, but I think he's probably properly rated. My point is the internet has like become so thirsty for him. And right, look, I get it. He's tall. He's got good-looking genes. He also looks like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. And I don't want to fuck Kevin McAllister, so I don't understand why it is. Go look at Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. That is child Joe Burrow, and I can't get it out of my head.
I disagree. I've seen
like,
what happens when Kevin McAllister grows up, and it's different.
Yeah, he might look more like grown up Macaulay Culkin, actually.
That could be the drugs.
Yeah.
So, like, if he did steroids instead of heroin?
Yeah.
How can you say that guy's not handsome?
He is handsome, but he also looks a lot like Kevin McAllister in certain photos, and I can't get it out of my head.
He's got like a weird little like mysterious freak quality to him, like just a small
I think
one
that's.
that really,
I think that's one of the things that makes him hot.
No, his confidence is awesome, right? Like that dude goes into a room and doesn't give a shit about anything in that room, and he doesn't care if people are laughing with him or against him. Like that's cool.
They're never laughing against him.
I think some of the Chiefs might have been yesterday.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Travis Kelce was fucking nuts. Man,
this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. Since we're talking Joe Burrow, you got to show this picture. If we're showing pictures of Joe Burrow,
Smoking Joe.
Ah, gotcha.
Oh, that one's not quality enough here.
Yeah.
Do this one.
Yeah, his post-game speech yesterday was like a fever dream. And I understand there's a lot of backstory here that Cincinnati mayor, who's such a nerd, that thing he was like, we're from this point forward, we're going to call Kansas City Burrowhead. And like, obviously they cared a lot about, like Kansas City really took that to heart, which is really dumb. But yeah, he's cool, dude. I love his swagger.
Travis Kelce you're talking about?
Yeah. When he said after the game, hey, I got some wise words for that Cincinnati mayor. Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni. You got to fight for your right. And he ended it. The next line was, you got to fight for your right to party. I was like, it was like a fever dream. It was like I was on acid. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
That's incredible.
You know what's so weird? I'm just going to say this out loud. Travis Kelce's not the best Kelce still in the playoffs.
No.
Yeah,
Jason's awesome.
Travis Kelce, I think I kind of hate him. Like, I like him as a player and he's talented, but like every time he talks, I'm just like, I think you have bad takes. And then his brother is just way better.
His brother's like the best center of
way
all
more
time.
Likable, I guess I will say. I mean, you're comparing a center to a tight end, the best tight end. So like, I don't know, But Jason Kelce is a guy. Like, if you were like, which Kelce brother do you want to go have a beer with? Jason. Like, I'd have a million with Jason before I had one with Travis.
I'd like to drink with both of them.
I think Travis would probably like slip something in my drink and like be like, "Oh, it's funny, it's a joke, dude." And I'd be like, "I got raped," and he'd be like, "You don't get it." It's like, yeah, you just date raped me. Where's your brother?
That whole situation sounds fun. I'm in for the whole thing.
In this scenario, Travis Kelce is not only roofing your drink, he's also raping you. Or is it just leaving it up to whoever?
I guess I wasn't conscious in this hypothetical, so I don't know if it was him.
Okay.
But it
just
feels
like
like it was him. Yeah.
Smile, you're on candid camera.
Or like you go out with him and you wake up on like a air mattress in the desert and you're like, what the fuck? And he's like, You're like, why did you do this? I don't like
Travis Kelce, if you're listening, I'm in for this.
Air mattresses, drugs. Well, that sounds kind of nice.
Date rape,
In the right
but
context.
not like
No,
other
not
people.
that.
Just you date rape me.
Danny's pro date rape, but only when it happens to him.
Man,
Oh,
I'm backing
Jesus.
out of that one.
This is a great podcast. I'm glad. Why haven't we taken off?
All right, guys, we got a bunch of topics we haven't talked about yet. We don't have to talk about all of them, but if you see one that jumps out to you,
Let's talk Aaron Rodgers. You guys want to talk about Rodgers really quick? Can someone find the odds of what his next team is? And you guys want to talk about what you think the best situation is for Aaron Rodgers?
I can't believe Miami's on this list. He's not coming here, so that's
Yeah.
dumb.
I want him on
I
a
think
Green
he's
Bay.
like
which
plus
means
300 for
staying.
Miami.
Plus 300? Shit.
Yeah, it was dumb. The odds were so good. We were the third team on the list.
Look, I know that the Jets are making a play here, right? They hired Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers are like really good buddies. And I actually hate the idea of him going to the Jets because the Jets are a
It's
quarterback
moved.
being really good. I don't know what the current numbers are, but it's
The Jets have passed us now. It's Packers plus 150, Raiders plus 400, Jets plus 650, Dolphins plus 750 now.
Ugh.
The Raiders make no sense to me. Why would you want to go to a division where you're going to have to double play Mahomes and Herbert, right? Wouldn't you be looking for easier situations? And that's where the Jets don't make sense to me that
If he
much.
wants an easy situation, he'll stay in Green Bay.
Green Bay's a great.
sorry, Al.
Yeah, I do think he's going to stay in Green Bay. That was my. It's like I want him out, so he's going to stay.
Like the AFC East doesn't make sense if you're trying to find an easy situation. So Jets and Dolphins.
It's a terrible one, but that's a good
so-
team, and they have like the cap space and everything because all the other players are young. They have a ton of talent. They just don't have a quarterback.
Let's
Yeah,
try
but-
and moneyball this thing. What division would be an easy one for him to win, and yet has a team that's good enough to inspire him to
The NFC North.
How about
Right.
the NFC? Is there anywhere in the NFC South?
The
Like,
Lions, bud.
the South? Oh,
He should go to the Lions.
no.
He won't, but that team's good enough. He's way better than Goff right now.
Yeah.
could New Orleans be good enough?
You didn't want to say that. You so badly didn't want to say that.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't.
it's
I
true,
still,
though.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
true,
he
though.
wasn't this year, but like,
He was this year
Yeah.
still.
no, still not. Danny, chug a beer, and
I deserve
then
that. I deserve that.
yeah,
I
NFC South. I think.
I'm sorry.
So
Some
say
team
Tom
in the
Brady
NFC
goes to
South.
San
The Panthers?
Francisco. Say
Imagine.
Tom Brady leaves, right? This is predicated on Tom Brady leaving, which everyone thinks he's going to go to San Francisco.
Bro, even if Tom Brady's there, that division's trash. Yeah, NFC South.
But New Orleans may have some talent, right? Who's the wide receiver whose foot's hurt every year?
Or
Michael Thomas.
Michael
Thomas.
Thomas. And they have Olave, and they have Kamara. Like that can be a talented enough team.
dude, I want to see him in Carolina with DJ Moore.
I do too.
Um,
We could go to Atlanta. Shit, there's not a ton. Chris, cover your ears. There's not a ton of talent on that team, but he's going to make the team a lot better.
Ridley's gone, but Pitts will be back.
Or the AFC South. That I mean, okay, Jacksonville. That you had a great year, but him in Tennessee's not bad.
if he went to the Giants or Commanders, is that reasonable?
I feel like those
I
divisions.
feel like Daniel Jones has kind of locked his spot down.
You think?
Yeah.
Commanders having it all.
Yeah,
Got a
but
renegade owner
who
there.
wants to go?
Renegade personality.
Yeah.
You should
I don't
edit
think
out those
anybody's
parts,
going to
by
the
the way.
Commanders.
Yeah.
Seattle. I
AFC.
guess Smith did enough.
Oh, did he? He was just like the third best quarterback in the league this year.
What if he went to the Titans?
I like that out. I like that. I think Tannehill might be on his way out. I don't think that Malik showed what they wanted him to this year, and he got hurt pretty quickly. It was Malik. That's his first
Or
name,
the
right?
Colts.
Malik?
The Colts, I don't
Yeah.
think, but that'd be. I just want him to go somewhere and just fucking be in
The
hell.
Colts aren't a bad one. The
Colts
Colts
are-
aren't a bad one. The Colts love to take has-been quarterbacks and just like let them ride out the end of their career in mediocrity.
What a
If he goes
shit
to the
gig
Colts,
Frank Reich had, huh?
if he goes to the Colts, is that the nail in the coffin that he really is done? Like he's
I
washed?
hope.
But the Colts
I'd
make sense
enjoy
right?
it.
Because it's indoors, right? And he plays really well in climate control. Pat McAfee's there, and boy, he loves himself some Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
Those two
they're
are
like
best
roommates.
buddies. Yeah, like I actually think the Colts are a good one. I
He
don't know.
might
if
be part of a throuple.
he probably is. It may just be a couple. There may not be a third.
No, I think there's that weird Crystal Lovin girl. Anyway,
What's her name? You talked about
Blue
it
Earth
on one of the episodes.
or-
Blue of the Earth.
Yeah.
Blue of the Earth.
Damn.
I don't know. I hope he doesn't go to the Jets. I
I
don't
want to
think
be
the
that rich
division.
one day. I want to be so rich one day that I'm dating like crystal people. I don't know. What do you even call those?
I don't. I want to be so rich that I'm still with my wife.
Buddy, you don't have
And she hasn't left me yet. I want to be so rich that she doesn't leave me
Correct.
because I'm doing podcasts on fucking Monday night. It's 11:30.
Al, I don't think you have to be rich to date Blue of the Earth and crystal people. I don't think those two things have to go hand in hand
Yeah.
at all.
No, you just have to be in college.
You have a domicile, you have a roof, you could find crystal people.
You just have to be into like jam bands.
Yeah, that you do.
You
Recreation.
just have to be our boss in college, Kenny.
Yeah.
Two inside.
Okay, that's good. Oof.
Any of the other topics you guys want to get on? We can talk Aussie Open if you want, but it wasn't that great of a final. The women's
Dude,
final.
Sisyphus did so much. He tried so hard to win a set. He got him to. I can't say his name.
You nailed it. That was exactly right.
I can't say his name. He tried so hard to win a set, and I had one bet on that final was for him to win a set, and he got me to tie break twice, and he couldn't pull it off.
Being the young players in this generation have to be so annoyed. They have to just want Djokovic to die already. Like there's so many good tennis players that are just not like they're great. They're just not all-time great. And it's really unfortunate timing for the litany of players that are out right now.
Well,
and I mean, granted, he's going to go away soon, but
it's not that Sisyphus is not going to be all-time great. It's just that like the thing about Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal is that there were not guys around the Sampras Agassi time. They were young and passed them at just the right time, right? So there wasn't an in-between there. So they got to pass them when they were 21, and Tsitsipas is like 25 now, right? Yeah. So and these guys are still doing it at 31. They used to all stop at like 30, but now you can like take care of your body so you can keep playing until you're 38, which has got to be the thing that's so fucking annoying because they should have been done 5 years ago when these young guys that are really good right now should have been taking over.
It's also that there wasn't just one dude. There were like three that were like all-time greats. And it's like, okay, and now I had to wait for all three of these dudes to like stop before I can have my moment.
I think there were three with Sampras, Agassi, and what was the other dude's name back then too?
There were a bunch of
players. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Billie Jean King.
Yeah.
No, there was another one that they played with that was really good. When I say his name, you'll remember.
Bjorn Borg. That was the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like Alcaraz is going to likely be the guy who does it, Dano, and it's unfortunate that he was injured for this one. I wanted to see Kyrgios too. Kyrgios is always the most fun player because he'll be great, and he's probably the most talented player on the court. But he,
I want to root.
He just doesn't try that hard. He doesn't like practice. He doesn't have tournaments to be in the top 10. You know.
Yeah, he doesn't want to win. He just wants to like play tennis and make
he
money.
wants to win, and he wins when he plays. He just doesn't play enough tournament. Like if you look at the rankings, the way you get in the top 10 is you play a lot of tournaments, basically, or you win in the big ones. And he just doesn't play enough tournaments.
The Netflix show Match Point, the first episode, it just follows Nick Kyrgios in the Australian Open in 2022. That dude, minus his head being, I would not want to spend 1 minute inside of his actual head because it seems like a tormented place. He just doesn't care about tennis that much. And he's beautifully talented. Like you watch him, he hits the ball harder than anybody. And he's weird. But that episode's great. The rest of the show, not that great. You want to talk about the one match? I didn't watch the men's. I did watch the women's at 3:30. Danny, did you watch Sabalenka Rybakina?
No, I did not. I did not watch that one. I wanted to because I mean, there's a lot of attractive in that match.
That is a pretty matchup. Let's put it
These
that
were
way.
like 3 a.m. matches, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
3:30. I woke up for some reason. Like I did with Danny as he says.
I very
Really
often
so.
wake up in the middle of the night and then can't go back to sleep. And I love when the Australian Open is on during that time because there's gambling to do and there's tennis to watch.
Yeah, Rybakina played amazing early. Both women played great. Sabalenka's just on one right now. She is great. So one of those white flags we talked about won a championship in Australia. The poor Belarusian flag doesn't get recognized on the national feed. Unless you guys want to talk more tennis, we can move on.
I think I was thinking of Leighton Hewitt, who is not on their level, by the way.
No. Alcaraz will probably be the guy that dethrones Djokovic. He is supremely talented. Hopefully Taylor Fritz does it too for America. But there were a lot of Americans. It was a great showing for the American men.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was the best showing I've seen in a long time. We had a man in the semifinals. He had to go against Djokovic, so it was straight sets, but it's awesome.
Yeah. Who was it in there? It was
Paul and
yeah.
that guy from University of Florida who seems like a giant butthole, but
Jeffrey John Wolf.
No, JJ Wolf is cool. Ben Shelton.
Shelton.
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton. He complains.
No, Paul beat Shelton though. Paul beat Shelton and made it into and got. Well, he's much older too, but he got beat by Joker. Tiafoe, I really wanted him to make it further, but Karen just kept beating the Americans.
Karen knocked out like 3 Americans.
The American men did not have in soccer, just to switch it up a little bit, did not have a very good showing in our friendlies. We didn't have our midfielders, which is the strength of our team. Our 3 good midfielders, none of them were playing in these matches.
Yeah, I mean, we were playing
mostly
like
the MLS
young
guys,
kids, right?
Well, just like none of the European dudes were really playing in these, so yeah, it was mostly MLS.
But couldn't you say the same thing for that Serbian team? They had to have a skeleton crew out there.
Yeah, and they were better than us, but
like,
look, the strength of our team is when you put Adams and McKinney and Musa in the midfield, or even Acosta was playing, but without the other two. Those 4 are really the strength of our team in the midfield. And you want to say that Pulisic is, but like, let's be honest, he's not one. He's the most famous player on the U.S. men's team, but it's the midfield that really are the strength.
Like realistically, what's the point in watching USMNT right now? We don't have a coach, and like we don't have anything we're playing for. So like,
until friendlies,
until at least like CONCACAF.
I don't know. I like to watch the young guys come up and see what we've got developing and try and figure out who's going to be good in 4 years. And I don't know.
Basically,
yeah.
The dude playing left wing was supposed to be an up and comer that I think is pure trash now. Hoppy or whatever his name is. Hoppy.
He looked like Sargent with a better haircut.
So
Sargent, I would take over him by far.
I watched the Serbia game. I did see that kid Zendejas who got one of his first caps. I was impressed by him. His playmaking on the ball was super exciting. He's clearly young, but
he's not young though. He's one of our. He's like in his 20s. He's like mid-20s, I think.
Oh, he's 24. He's not young at all. Sorry.
No, but he has developed a lot in the last couple of years, I think, and is now in contention to play. So
I like him. I was impressed by that. I thought he played well. I thought Slonina did okay, and like I said, I didn't watch the Colombia game. He made the double save. He did some things there, and he's clearly going to be the future now that he's on Chelsea too. Like he's got a big plan ahead of him.
I think Chelsea considers him the future of their goalkeeping too.
They spent a lot of money. Gaga
Slonina,
the keeper.
Yeah, they paid like $10 million for him or something to get him from the MLS team in Chicago.
Yeah.
Fire, I guess, and yeah, that was a lot of money to get him from there. And supposedly, like Kepa's contract doesn't last forever, and I think Mendy's basically, even when he's healthy, I think he's kind of like when his contract's up, they're gonna just let
Chicago Fire on NBC 10 p.m. 9 Central.
Right after Wednesdays. Chicago PD or whatever the hell, the Chicago block. Yeah, but I thought Zendejas was Andy. Did you watch the games? I didn't watch the Colombia match, but.
I was the other way around. I only watched the Colombia match. The other one was past my bedtime.
I watched the first like part of the first half of the Serbia match, and then
10 p.m. start. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Dude, you know me. I'll start watching something like that, and then
Was that
How was
Saturday
the Colombia
night?
match? Did you guys have a breakdown of that? Anything fun? Anyone to look forward to?
the breakdown was Hoppy's not good.
Okay, Hoppy's not good.
He shoots when he's supposed to pass. He passes when he's supposed to shoot. He can't break anybody down on the wing. Like,
You would say
he seemed
Hoppyless. That's dumb. I'm gonna stop. I'm sorry.
They had a lot of young guys get their first caps, and you know, a couple of them looked okay.
I want Acosta on the field at all times when we need a set piece taken, because he really has a lot of quality on those.
They were so much
a lot of
better
quality. I was like, don't let Pulisic take those set pieces. Like,
did they play Aaronson's little brother?
Yeah, Paxton Aronson. He played the whole game. He's a lot like his brother. He had a motor on him. He was all over the field, all over the ball. I think he's got to get bigger. They were kind of pushing him around a little bit, but he's like 19, so he
had one missed big chance, and he had another like quality shot that he just put right at the keeper. But he got in good positions. He like Andy said, great motor. The same things you love about his brother that you're gonna love about him.
Is he like a real lunch pill guy?
Yes.
Gym rat the guy. So he weighs 139 pounds. Everyone on here, think about the last time you weighed 139 pounds.
I was in sixth grade.
Fourth grade.
Sixth grade.
Fourth
I
grade.
was 9 years old. No, it was a long ass time ago. Why can't Kylian is he not good as a midfielder? He's just like a set piece.
He is good as a midfielder. He is good as a midfielder. No, he's just not as good as we have great midfielders, but like they're great. He's our first sub on usually in the midfield.
He's awesome,
but
he's
we just have
set.
Yeah, but he's not as good as McKinney or Adams, and Musa's like a huge talent, and he's like 19.
Musa's gonna be great. Yeah, you can see it when you watch him play. Like he's clearly gonna be.
Wait, Yunus Musa is only like 19.
Yeah. He's so young.
Really?
Yunus Musa is going to get paid
next
year. He's going to get paid.
Yes, he's going to get so much money.
He's at Valencia.
He's already been playing in big-time European leagues for like 2 years. He started when he was 17.
Yeah, he's
in the
20.
Spanish league, I think.
He's 20. Yeah.
He's going to get paid.
Plays for Valencia.
Everyone in England is lining up the money. That Jude Bellingham is like money number 1. He's like money number 4. Yunus Musa. He's going to get the money very soon.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him develop. It's too bad we just don't have like a pure like striker forward. I mean, honestly, Haji Wright was rumored to be around some Premier League teams. I was kind of surprised to hear that, but he's tall and he could get his head on the ball. But and he had some decent hold up play in the World Cup. I guess that earned him some.
Where does
some
he
looks,
play? I forget where he plays.
It's in. I think he's in the
Turkey.
What?
He plays in
the Super League. Yeah. That's
Go ahead, Al.
I was gonna say it's gotta be a fun league to watch. There's always like good shit going on. I feel like
I caught myself
Europe and like the Middle East. There's good.
I caught myself watching an Eindhoven game this weekend.
Oh,
or not this weekend, last weekend.
Eredivisie.
Yeah. And that was actually kind of fun. Yeah, the Dutch game. One of our players is on Eindhoven. I don't know. I forget who it was. But I just got like an alert on my phone that like a U.S. guy was subbed in for Eindhoven. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll just turn that on the ESPN app or whatever. And bet us him to score and us to win, and he didn't score, but that game won. It was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do that basically every time Gio Reyna gets subbed on for Dortmund.
How's that working out for you?
Dortmund wins a lot, so pretty good.
I think I'm over Gio
Oh my
Reyna.
God! What a week! Should we talk about his week? He had 2 game-winning goals in 1 week last week. And
Yeah.
He can't start for the U.S. men's national team, and that whole thing is ridiculous. Like, if he's not the right player right now, mom and dad need to stay the hell out of it. But
Did you hear the latest rumor?
No,
I was reading this on Reddit, so I don't know how true it is, but
Love rumor.
so they've basically fired everybody. They fired everybody in the front office, right?
Huh?
You know that his dad, Claudio, has left his post at his MLS team, who used to be heading up the thing. The latest rumor I heard is that they're going to replace the head of the U.S. front office. No, not Berhalter, but the guy who chooses
the
everything.
president or
Bruce
GM or
Arena,
whatever.
The president of the trust or whatever, with Claudio. They're basically like the worst thing you could possibly do for like a U.S. soccer mom being kind of deal is like put them in charge, and that's what they're going to do.
You can't spell American without Karen.
So,
yeah, I feel like it's best to keep parents out of sports at all levels.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Like less is more in general, I think.
I've learned this one thing, that parents, while can be very loving, are a little bit biased, right? And that shit, like, while Lorena's care about their son, I care about U.S. soccer scoring goals and being fucking awesome, right? We clearly have two different priorities. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So parents should stay the fuck out. But it's a hard lesson for me to learn, because eventually, why is my son playing?
Well, no, it's different for you. Like, your kid is awesome.
Have you seen?
So just to speak from a personal experience, and this is one that Matt was a part of, right? Matt and I played baseball together when we were younger. Matt's dad didn't necessarily coach us, but he was a part of it, right? And he would come and like pitch to us, and we would like go hit and stuff. Matt's dad was much harder on Matt than he was me. And I could see why that would be something that may like strain a relationship between a father and son if he was like,
how's he ever going to be his best if he's just being a pussy the whole time?
That's it. That's basically.
To be fair, Matt's dad at like 55 was better than both of us at baseball when we were 18.
Yeah, he was great.
He played in the men's league that we tried to play.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he was great.
No, at 18. Like Matt and I were winning state championships, and Matt's dad was on a men's league team that we tried to play it, and they were better than us.
Yeah, I've never struck him out. I've tried so hard. I could never get like.
I usually would say that men are better than kids at things.
Nah, but my dad was old.
Not when they're in their mid-50s, bud.
Depends, I guess. Huh?
But the good thing is, everyone listening, the person listening out there, you don't watch Premier League. I understand, right? It's hard. But if you want to watch Premier League, you should watch Leeds United, because it's just the American team now playing all the time in England. Weston McKennie, we were talking about our midfield, now going to Leeds with an American head coach, an American midfielder. It's going to be a very fun team to watch.
Two American midfielders. He's playing with Tyler Adams in the midfield, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Tyler Adams.
And then Brendan Aronson is at forward, right?
Yeah.
Or also midfield. Awesome. I don't know where they play him.
But also,
he plays like an attacking midfield role, sometimes on the wing.
I'm a little worried, considering the shit that was talked last episode about Leeds United. And if they do get relegated, it is a bad look for the U.S. Who's rooting against the U.S.? Is that Al, who's rooting against the United States now?
No, Danny said Leeds is going to get relegated. And Everton and West Ham are going to not get relegated, and Leeds will get relegated. And I was like,
yeah. Can I take that back?
Leeds is 1 point out of the relegation zone right now.
Literally, the very next morning, they announced Weston McKennie to Leeds.
Great. I didn't know they were going to get McKennie. That changes everything.
I mean, also being a little more sober probably changes things.
Yeah, I was tying one on.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I
love hot takes. I support them in all their.
Whatever. The worst case scenario is I have to chug 4 beers and then do a podcast with you guys. So I probably won't make any more bets then.
No.
Yeah,
that sounds like a cycle.
I do think that does make Leeds better. I'm worried, and we talked about this last week. We don't need to go into Leeds running their players ragged. Jesse Marsh may have gone too hard, but I got
to say that you're talking about trying to get people to watch soccer, though. If you don't really if you think soccer's boring, then watch fucking Leeds, though, because they play soccer the way Americans would want them to. Because you're never going to get a 0-0 game with Leeds. I promise you. There's going to be goals. Either Leeds is going to score them or they're going to get scored on.
A lot of times both.
Yeah,
Also,
no, usually both.
I know.
Overs.
I know we're talking Premier League here.
Good bet when you're watching Leeds. Both teams to score.
Both
But do you
teams.
guys want to talk about a little FA Cup and particularly the Wrexham Sheffield United match?
I don't
I
want
don't want to talk about it, but yeah, go for it.
I don't want to.
It
was so fun.
It's before we started last week's podcast, we were talking.
Chris should be
and
here
we
for
were
this.
talking about
Chris
how
should be here for this.
there's the good cup that people care about and the cup that nobody cares about, and I think the EFL Cup is the Carabao Cup, which is what people care about. Carabao.
No, they care about FA.
Oh, they
not-
care about FA.
Yeah, everybody
Okay.
cares about FA.
Okay, so yeah, because FA is so much fun. It's like the top 10 teams from
All of them. Everyone.
all teams in all
I
divisions.
don't know. It seems like everyone. It seems like
I
everyone.
think Matt looked it up.
I'll
It
get
was
the
top.
scoop
I
right
think Matt looked it up, and it was the top 10 teams from every level of the English football league system, which of which there are, I think, 6 or possibly 8. So you've got like
9.
Yeah, so you've basically got
We're
like
in the 5th round now, and we're not to a stage where we're saying oh, there's 64 teams left. So I have no. I feel like there's hundreds of teams in this.
It includes the top 20 teams from the Premier League, the 72 professional teams in the EFL, which is levels 2 to 4, which is Championship, level 1, level 2, and then all clubs in stages 1 through the National League system. So literally 10 leagues, Premier League, and all the next 9.
It's the U.S. Open of soccer.
Yeah. So you get teams that are basically like local club teams that are not really professional, but quote unquote pros.
Wrexham.
No, you get lower than Wrexham.
Oh yeah, Wrexham is super professional compared to some of these.
Well, now they are, but a couple of weeks ago,
even before,
right before the American dudes bottom, they were pretty much about to be one of them beer league teams. There was a real estate play to take their stadium. They were nothing left.
But I have a soft spot in my heart for Sheffield United. I just love that club, the Blades, right? And it was fun, seeing them go head to head with Wrexham, which is who all these people getting into soccer and everyone watching this. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney, since they bought out, they are the owners of Wrexham now, and they're trying to build it up from a national league team up to Premier League is the goal.
That's not happening, but
or League 2, yeah. So, but it was a good match. So I think Sheffield jumped out to a quick goal lead, and then Wrexham scored 2 to take the lead.
They got a head on the ball and got it in the net in 2 minutes. I was outside. I was outside mowing the lawn, and I came back inside, and I was like, "The game already started? They already got a goal? What the fuck?" And I looked at, it was great.
Yeah. So then Wrexham got up a goal, and then Sheffield
minus a half. I was super happy.
And then Wrexham got up another goal, and it was stoppage time, or stoppage time, and Sheffield United got the equalizer, and it's took the wind out of the sails of the Wrexham supporters. But that's the kind of game that you would love to watch, and if that's your first entry into Wrexham and or Sheffield United, and you're getting into it. You're probably going to be disappointed going forward because there's a lot of games that aren't as good as that one was.
Dude, I think Paul Mullins is legit good. I've been watching that stupid show, and I only see him on that, and I've never actually watched him play a match. But watching him play against Sheffield, he's way too good for whatever they're doing.
I guess how old he is, because I don't know, but I'm guessing he's almost 40.
They bought him from a league or two up, right? When they brought him on.
Yeah, that's what they said in the show, but I don't know much about his history. I just watched him in that game, and I was like, yeah, he's almost 30. Okay. So but he's legit good. He could be playing in the Champions level league or whatever, Championship level league.
But I did tell everyone on here to lay the goals with Sheffield. And I was wrong, and I apologize for that. But Al told
laid the goals. I laid the goals, and I was wrong.
Yeah, Al told you to bet Ollie McBurney, who, if anyone does it, like Paul Mullins, is fucking awesome. And he belongs back in the Premier League, and he scored a goal in 75 seconds. That's great. It was a great one. There was great competition across the board. I watched Stoke City versus Stevenage. I don't even know what Stevenage is. That could be fake. I thought I made it up.
FA Cup was so fun this weekend.
I think they're I think that means they're shipping container movers.
Oh, they're
Like
Stevenage?
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's the word I'm confusing it with, but I think that's still what it is.
I hope they are. If they are that, it makes me like them way more.
Was
But
that
it was
season
great.
2 or 3 of The Wire?
Leeds
Season 2.
looked like they were going to lose in
Oh.
the first half. They were not playing well, and then they came back and like just all of a sudden 3-1, like in
Matches
their
are always
match.
close with the team too. I know watching Chelsea played Argyle last year, and it was like a nail biter for a lot of the game because this is like the big game for the teams on the lower competition, right? Like
So-
you get Chelsea counter.
I think one of the things in this is like the lower level teams in the Premier League aren't used to playing against people who park the bus. So they got to play against like the style that Chelsea now has to play against, where teams have like 8 guys in the box in the back. So it gets harder. It's harder for them to try and like break that and score. So
It was fun.
I just love so much the names of all these clubs in like lower level English soccer. Like,
dude, you hit the nail on the head yesterday when you said that Sheffield has the best shield in all of sports. That was
It's
Yeah,
the
it's Matt,
best.
yeah.
The blades of the soccer ball. Or the skin
the swords or whatever. Yeah, it's awesome.
but if you guys would like, I'd just like to take a few seconds here and just read off some of the teams in Wrexham's
Sure.
league. So we've got Scunthorpe,
Ooh.
Yeovil Town, Solihull Moors, Boreham Wood, Dag and Red. That's a good one. And then Wrexham.
So
I think it would be
I thought
worthwhile doing in the off season when the FA Cup a team gets eliminated, just like some random ass name. We should give like the readers a little bit of background on like Accrington Stanley in the future. Be like, because why? Why is Accrington Stanley? I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
It's an
also like 80% of these teams claim to be the oldest football team that ever existed.
they're all the oldest.
So like there's Sheffield United, but there's also a Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah,
I think they're differentiated as Sheffield Wednesday because they used to play on Wednesdays and it just stuck. Like 200 years
Of
later,
course.
they are just still called Sheffield Wednesday.
I thought it was because one of them was in the Addams family.
Da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-dun. Chug a beer.
Yeah,
Sorry, that was bad. Missy just finished watching that show.
Oh, was it good? We'll find out in 30 seconds.
I said Missy finished watching it.
Okay. And then also mascots are pretty good in English football. The Wigan Athletic Club, their mascot is a pie. It's great. Someone should bring it.
Like a meat pie or like a dessert pie?
Yeah, I don't know. I assume meat pie.
Yes, is this pie savory or sweet?
You
Is
gotta
this
ask
pie
in
savory or
English.
sweet? It matters.
Krusty the Pie is our
It looks like an Uncrustable. It's so good. I love it.
I gotta say, Uncrustables way overpriced.
Yeah,
I should
way
just be
overrated.
making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for my kids. I don't know why I buy these things.
I don't. I refuse.
They're like
They don't have
$2
any
each. And it's just so I can like save 30 seconds in the morning. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm that lazy.
America, baby. Oh.
Let's get a good
right.
old big picture of Krusty the Pie.
Are we gonna do anything on Super Bowl right now, or just save it for next week?
You guys, do you want to try to hit the early lines or?
Yeah, I mean we can
Yeah,
talk
let's hit
about
the
it,
early
and then
lines.
we can.
We'll do
revise
props next week. We'll do the early lines now. I'll
Okay.
be right back. I'll be right back.
I'll get you a picture of Krusty the Pie if you want to share.
I'm on it, my friend.
See, if you are not watching us on YouTube, you are missing out, or you're just having to Google all these pictures yourself. But they're so good. Look at that! Look at that cute, adorable little pie.
Yeah.
I just want to see someone like kick him in the nards. Oh, also the Swans. Not Newcastle. Who is it? Swansea. The Swansea Swans. Like they have a great mascot. I think his name is Cyril the Swan. And there's like this whole backstory where he like got in a fight with people like, and he is like banned from matches, but then he'd still come back and show up like banned, and like everyone in Swansea loves the Swan, and the officials hate him. I mean, that was like probably 20 years ago, but like it's. I think there's a documentary. It's like you should look it up.
I'm gonna grab a picture of Cyril the Swan too. Oh my god, that's like a thing from a horror movie. His neck is like broken.
Oh,
That's great. Bing is awful.
it's so good. I love it. I love the pageantry. I love that they just like make up songs and just the whole stadium knows them somehow. It's crazy. You can't do that shit here.
Now, American chanting sucks, right? We're terrible sports fans. We're not creative at all.
All we can get the whole stadium
awesome.
to chant is USA.
Like making songs. An old Duran song. You're like, how did you guys put this all together? Look at this beast.
What is that?
That's Cyril the Swan, baby.
I feel like they could have made the neck hole a little bit more discreet.
You can like see the guy sweating through it almost.
Does that guy like? Did he get cancer from cigarettes and that's how he breathes now?
Yeah, yeah. The Swan's got a voice modulator. Go Swans.
All right, so we were going to talk just a little bit about the lines for the Super Bowl. It's Kansas City +2. I think everywhere I looked, that's the only line I saw. Like plus 115 to 105 on the money line. The total of around, actually, it was 50 when I looked at it before. I'm seeing 49.5 now. What do you guys think? Any initial thoughts?
Same thoughts I always have. Tail Andy.
So my thoughts were, because I think at like the books that first put the lines out, the Chiefs opened as favorites and the Eagles were +2 or 2.5. And I feel like the best bet would have been to like buy that up to like 3 and pay like a little bit of juice. And that would have felt like a good spot, but it's already shifted to Eagles as a favorite, and they're not big favorites. I don't know. I feel like I don't have a good read on the line yet. I think the Eagles could win, so I'm inclined to like find a 1.5 according to Action. There's a couple still, but I don't know.
There's one on FanDuel according to Action.
But like, I don't know.
I don't have access to FanDuel because I don't live in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I don't feel great about the spread.
I don't like the spread either, but if Pat Mahomes is hurt at all the wide receivers were hurt, and I'm sure they'll be healthy miraculously by the time game time happens. Eagles have a great defense. They have better lines. They're better on the offense and defensive line. I think I would probably lay the points right now, but I don't love it.
I'm laying the points, and I'll tell you why. Because there's 2 Kelseys in this game, and one's better than the other.
It's just you think.
I love it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I'm taking the better
think
Kelsey.
If you were holding my feet to the fire and said you have to make a bet on this game, I'd take Eagles money line. Looks like -125 is the best I'm seeing.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel great about it. I wouldn't bet a lot on it, but that's probably where I would go.
This feels like a Super Bowl that's not going to end up being that close either. Like I could see a team winning by 7 to 10. I'm
gonna make bets like Juju Smith-Schuster to score a touchdown.
Yeah, that once we know when everyone's healthy and they give you props next week, oh hell yeah, I think we go crazy on that shit.
Juju had a hell of a year this year, by the way. Like quietly, he had over 1,000 yards receiving, I think, and like 6 or 7 touchdowns.
Damn.
It was close to 1,000, if not 1,000.
Well, Valdez-Scantling had a great game yesterday, and it's amazing what happens when you're the only wide receiver that's healthy.
Yeah, he had the game of his career.
He did that with Aaron Rodgers too when he was the only receiver. He's really good when he's the only guy that you can throw to.
Maybe he's hurting me.
What did Juju do? What's his numbers?
You think he's hurting them? Wow.
Yeah, he's Tanya Harding and them.
Andy, what's your thought?
No, I don't. I don't think he's Tanya Harding. I'm not making any allegations here.
No, I am.
Juju had 933 yards receiving on 101 targets, 78 catches. How many touchdowns?
That's a great catch rate.
So
yeah, 4 touchdowns. That's not right. No, 3 touchdowns.
Andy mentioned earlier the possibility of teasing, doing like a 2-leg teaser on this one game.
It's not, don't tease the Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, caveat being that it's dumb to tease totals, even in the NFL. But it's an interesting thing to consider because
this is what you should consider if you're thinking about a teaser. Sometimes on the Super Bowl they'll consider sport teasers. Some books will allow you to do like you'll get 6 points on the Super Bowl and then 4 points on an NBA game or something that's happening.
Okay. I think
I would rather do that than tease the total.
What if you did?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if you did the dog and the under and the favorite and the over and tease them both and just hope to middle all of those?
So that bet usually works better if you do the this team to win by this much or whatever. Like your odds are usually better if you do the winning margin bet.
That's boring. Boo.
I'm just saying if you do those 2 bets, you're doing -120 to win both of those. And if you do the exact winning margin, you're usually getting plus money. So
but you're also shooting the gap. And that's fun. I get what you're saying.
You're shooting the gap both ways.
You're shooting a very small gap that way either way, and you're getting a lot better juice.
Your winning margin. So what I'm saying is you bet both winning margins on plus money, and your total expected value of the bet will be a plus money bet.
But if you're wrong, you could still like split.
I mean, if you're wrong on a bet, you're gonna lose money either way.
That's how bets work.
That's how bets work.
Thank you for explaining to me how losing bets work. Because
so you're saying we should.
I'm sorry. If you guys didn't know about the ChuggieBets, if you guys didn't know the ChuggieBets podcast, Andy and Al can teach you guys how to win bets. I'll teach you how to lose them.
There is an art to losing bets. That's a true statement. Oh, but yeah, you can get Chiefs at +8. And you could get Eagles at +4. Both of those sound good.
Going across.
I mean, I do like that gap. I just don't like it at. I guess it would probably be -115. I think most books will start at 110, and if you cross over one of the good numbers, they add 5.
And then on the total, you'd be under 56 or over 44. I feel like that's a pretty good sweet spot.
I don't like the total one, but I do like the at 115 at -115. I do like shooting that gap actually.
It's not a terrible
thing. I'm probably gonna do that.
It sounds really fun.
It's the Super Bowl. I'm gonna make 1,000 bets. That's gonna be one of them.
I'm gonna side bet you guys too, for dumb bets, like what Rihanna's gonna sing first.
Think we could talk Al into driving down for the Super Bowl and taking Monday off?
I don't know, possibly.
I'm gonna text Christine and not him and see if I can.
I don't know if I have anything else we could talk about. We talked about the USMNT, which was a big topic. Annie, anything you wanted to get off?
No, I think I'm good. I'm excited to talk some other stuff going forward, like some college basketball and whatnot. But I think an hour and a half in here tonight, we're good.
Al's system's been hitting. He's not here to talk about it.
I like the system. I'm going to get involved in that next. Go with you guys for sure.
Okay. He needs to go back to being slightly more discerning on his picks because we started being too discerning, and then he went to just betting everything that the system liked by like even a 0.1 of a point. And I think he needs to get back to just doing the ones that are green plays. Al, we're talking about your college basketball system.
Yeah, it's like
It's been good, right? But I think this is my theory: is that we started doing the only like we were betting only like the really good ones, right? And those were hitting on an average rate, but everything was doing really well. So you started betting literally everything the system liked. And I think we need to go back to just doing like the green plays instead of the blue plays only or all the plays.
Yeah,
That was my favorite.
it's been like a real slog, where it's like you're betting 15 games to come out like plus a half unit or something, and it's like, I guess that's successful, but it's like,
It
I
is
don't know.
successful.
So yeah, I
But
don't
the
know.
ROI hasn't been as good this year as it was last year so far.
Yeah, well, it's also it's hard to like wait, because I know from previous seasons, for whatever reason, the first like 2 or 3 weeks of the season are usually good, and then once like conference play gets underway, it gets pretty good again. But
Which
that
is
in
now.
between like month and a half, 2 months is usually not good, and so I try to like play it early to be like, when's it gonna start getting good? So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But I also think that the books use KenPom to set their lines too. So even though my numbers are close to what books are setting, they're probably putting other elements in that are distinguishing the different lines, the ones where I see value. So
I agree. I need to get my.
There's also a fucking shit ton of bad beats in college basketball. It's insane. Like,
yeah, because all the refs are fucking bought.
yeah, it's nuts. Ooh.
Welcome back, bud.
We're just talking about bad beats. College basketball.
Oh.
I won some bets tonight. Texas Tech was looking really bad, and then they went on like a 20-5 run or something to tie the game and force overtime, and then they won.
Ooh, overtime.
Yeah.
I love it when overtime helps you win. Especially when they foul the fuck out of LeBron.
Do you think that soccer has regular time as far as the over-under? Like, I annoyed American bettors are always annoyed because they're like, well, if I bet the tie and then my team loses, and I think it's fairer. It's a fairer way to do it.
Are you guys having trouble hearing Matto? Or is it just me?
Yeah, it's cutting in and out a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's all right. The draw definitely fucks up soccer bets like all the time.
Well, I bet the draw all the time. So I kind of like having that option.
Like, it hits at a stupid rate. Like, you're like, oh, games never end in ties. It's always like, like it's probably like 1 in 10 games or 1 in 5, and it's like, no, it's like 2 in 5.
Oh,
or like
one of my
more.
favorite bets my most profitable bets is first half draws.
Yeah.
It's like the first quarter unders. Those are probably my 2 most profitable bets that I make consistently. First quarter unders and first half draws.
We haven't bet any first half unders in college basketball in a while.
Matt has.
You're not sharing those, bud?
We can get back on
it. He puts them on action sometimes as the funders, but
I do. We can put together the funder system again. But that's the thing we can share here. It just lives in the moment. It's that day.
Yeah, the first half lines don't come out till that morning for college, so it's not something you can do early.
We could do something on TikTok or on Twitter or something, maybe.
By the way,
it's got to be Twitter or Instagram, because TikTok is not the right forum for sharing gambling picks that they need that day.
I want to clarify something on the TikTok front. I owe a lot of chugs. I was in the hospital, so I haven't paid those chugs. I will be paying those chugs. Your boy's back. He's back at it.
Excuses, man.
I have to pay my.
Matt, do you want to just hold those chugs until I lose this Leeds and this bet that I made, and we can just do 4 in a row together?
Sure. I'm gonna owe him at this point.
When the Premier League season ends, there's no way I win this bet. It was way too specific. I was like, Leeds needs to come in 19th place, and Everton needs to come in 15th place, and I don't even know what I said. But.
It was quite the bet. It made me laugh. You got a chance. Everton will get out, right? I'm gonna join you on that. If I will take one more beer bet. Everton's not gonna get relegated.
Everton, I don't think West Ham's getting relegated either. It's the Leeds getting relegated that I'm so sure about
Leeds
that.
get relegated. I'm not promising that.
But I said Leeds will, and those other two won't, and I'm like, that's too specific. I still think those things will happen, but like that's three things that like I should have gotten long odds. I knew I should have gotten long odds. I even said I should have gotten long odds at the time. I listened back and I heard what I said, and I was like, "You drunk idiot! You said you needed long odds, and you're going to give them a good bet anyway." And I heard Al just go like, "Okay."
I was antagonizing you too. I was like, 4 beers? You'll do over 4 beers? I played my role. Oh God.
All right, boys, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, that sounds like a good spot.
Well,
Andy, drink.
I am out.
Sorry. Al, drink. Al's given it to Danny before.
I'll drink one after.
I've had a nickel for every time I heard that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Go ahead and take us home, Matt.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Juan. Thank you for joining us on this episode of ChuggieBets 42. We're going to have a lot of weird content coming out. Please stay tuned. It's probably going to be pretty fucking entertaining. We're not going to be talking football as much, but who knows? Please follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on YouTube. Do all that stuff. Get the downloads. Tell your friends. We're trying to make good content here. And until next time, good night, Joey.
Good night, Joey.
Good night. Bye-bye.
I cannot believe you guys forgot to mention during Chuggy Bets the guy whose girlfriend made his nuts explode.
Can you give us a little background on how that happened?
I have no idea how it happened. I just got the link that you sent me in the text message. You tell me how it happened.
I didn't send the nuts exploding.
He played for Clemson? Is Clemson?
Yeah.
Oh no! I just made the joke. I made a bad joke. That's it. That's fine.
He said my balls and nutsack exploded.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, the nutsack exploding makes it much messier.
Yeah, to me, I'm thinking exploded like a bomb went off, but I think what he might have meant was exploded in terms of like size, like they grew / swole a lot. But they may have actually literally.
I actually read a little more details after finding out. Like, so one of his testicles got like twisted around, and the blood flow. So what Al's saying is what happened. So the blood flow got blocked, and then it got very, very swollen. So when he said exploded, there was huge swelling in his nuts because one of his testicles got twisted, and the blood was blocked.
Kind of like that guy that got arrested at a Home Depot because he said he was going to go blow the bathroom up, and they didn't. The person called the police but didn't know what that expression meant.
You know what's great? So in the NIL era, Brevin Galloway is his name. He's a Clemson basketball player, and he's represented by Raymond Representation or something like that. But he started making shirts of his face, right? I'm going to show you this one. It has balls in his jersey with his name. And then there's another one that calls
just
him
says
the
balls.
The nutty professor.
The nutty professor.
Dude, make your fucking money, guy. I'm buying one of them nutty professor shirts. Honestly, buying one of those. He deserves every bit of it.
Good knowing that like that shirt exists and the money actually goes to the player.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Like I'm more inclined to buy that shirt now. Will I buy it? I'm not going to. But
no, I'm buying one for you. I don't want the shirt, but I'm buying one for Al.
Yeah.
You know what's cool?
The nutty professor.
Clemson's basketball seems so dope, and Clemson's football is so lame. Not in the name, image, and likeness of God, in that representation. I don't think God's balls exploded. Maybe it did.
I'm trying to think of
I
like.
think Devil Sweeney was about the nutty professor.
I'm trying to think of another like school whose two teams have such vastly different like vibes. You know, like maybe like Cal State Fullerton basketball versus baseball. You know, like they're good at baseball.
How about
they probably have a shit basketball team.
How about UConn? Football and basketball.
That's really good.
True, that is
so you're just thinking about quality. Like Clemson basketball is okay. Clemson basketball is okay, but like You're thinking of the vibe where like the players on the basketball team and the coach seems to support that they're kind of like cool. And in football, that's all about like I played in a golf tournament today that was put on by Youth for Christ. There was no booze allowed. Don't worry, we drank.
Yeah, it's like going to a club versus like going to youth group.
Exactly. So like I mean, I don't think that like Miami would be a good one because I feel like Larrañaga gets the guys to the club.
Yeah.
Maybe Cristobal's more the youth group?
I don't think so.
I feel like Cristobal's more boot camp.
Yeah, I don't see. He's the guy who's yelling at people to stand up and sit down at meetings. He's a Tim Brewster type.
I definitely think Larrañaga is like the players coach that like they like, and
he seems cool as shit for what it's worth. Yeah. Like even in the
private for an old white guy who pretends his name has an Enye in it.
When did he get the Enye? Has he always
when he came to Miami?
No. He ended it when he got to Miami.
The Enye showed up when he came to Miami. He is, I think, Latin by heritage, but he didn't used to say the Enye until he got to Miami.
Has he ever lived in Manhattan?
Probably.
Let's find out about Jim Larrañaga.
So what kind of side hustles he had.
Callback.
He's from the Bronx.
What do you think his first job was? See, he's from the Bronx. So yeah.
Jim Larrañaga used to
sell vacuum cleaners.
I believe he's pronounced him. Larrañaga.
He does look like. Hold on. If you want to play a looks like game, Jim Larrañaga looks like a door-to-door vacuum salesman. That's a good one. He looks like a door-to-door vacuum salesman who won't take no for an answer. He's also old enough
to have probably had that as a viable career option when he was young.
He looks like a door-to-door vacuum salesman who pushes his way into your house and spills something on your carpet so that he can use the vacuum to clean it up to help make the sale. I'm writing that into the Levitard show.
Well, he was Cuban. His grandfather
was.
And his parents are Basque. Sorry, he is Cuban, and his parents were Basque Spanish. So yeah, Get yourself an Enye, boy. You appropriated an Enye.
He didn't appropriate. He earned that Enye by being Cuban.
Fucking around. Yes, of course he earned it. He didn't have
appropriated it from his parents.
He didn't have it before.
If I was Danye, I would be appropriating an Enye.
Let Daniel.
Daniel. I think that sounds like you have an Enye. Daniel.
No, that's an IEL. That's an IEL. That's not an Enye.
DANYEL.
Daniel.
Shit.
Daniel.
Give yourself an Enye.
Mom and Dad, why did you give me an Enye? That was not nice. Fucking British.
Canyon D. No.
Fucking British Enye.
So go get yourself a Bretton Calloway shirt. Go get the Nutty Professor or the Ballsy shirt. He earned that.
Nutty Professor's a good one, man. Nutty Professor's a good shirt. But you can cut it.
Good night,
Joey.